Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm very well. So good to see you both.
And
Good
you?
to see you.
Some of our viewers will recognise you from activities that you've been doing in our local community, and some might not have met you yet. For those that haven't met you yet, please could you tell us who you are?
Well, I'm Michelle Chamberlain Scott, and this is Vic Highland. We are a couple, and we're a magical couple as well, which is rather nice.
And we are Witchways.
And we're Witchways of Dorset. And that has just had its first anniversary, which we're really happy about. We've just come back to Bournemouth. Been Dorset based all my life, and Vic and I have settled here from the wild east of Kent, basically. So yeah,
Amazing. Amazing. So you've been doing some amazing classes with us.
we
Um,
sure have.
via Anathema and our lovely neighbours, D'Annunzio, who are an Italian deli, and they very kindly let us use their space in the evenings. So we are strictly filled with magical people. And some of the topics that you've been covering recently are we do our First Wednesday Tarot Club, which is a roaring success.
Yeah, we're
And
loving that.
you are also doing some standalone classes. And could you tell us about the next one that you've got coming up?
Okay, well, I'll just sort of introduce the series of classes. We
Mm.
we like to make sure that people go away with something that they can do, or
Yeah,
and certainly something they can understand too, because you can do a lot of reading, as you can see,
yeah,
a lot of talking about it, but it's really important to give things a go,
yeah,
and I think it's even more important to have the confidence in yourself, and in your abilities to make magic, because we make magic every day. Life is magic.
yeah.
So we've sort of introduced with your good self our Spellcraft series,
Yes,
which are kind of like standalone items, and
yes.
you'll see those on your website, I think. And the next one is money magic techniques, and there's sounds simple on the outside, but maybe a little deeper on the inside. But Vic will be mostly running this one, so over to you, sir.
Right. Okay. So it's an interesting one to do because there are it's a bit like love magic. There's lots of stuff out there, lots of spells out there. But we've always been interested in, what are people's experiences when they actually do magic? Because sometimes that's never said.
No.
So, I did this and this happened, right? And I think that's one of the things that for both of us that really inspire you to do magic. Okay. So financial magic, um, there are lots of techniques which we've done,
Yeah.
and some interesting stories of what happened. And as you know, anything magical, you start getting some very bizarre happenings around,
Yes, you do. Yeah.
adjacent to the fact that you've got the thing happening and then something else happens as well.
Yeah.
So, but the interesting point about this is that, and this separates what we're doing from going and finding a spell book. Okay. There's a really interesting quote. I'm just going to say a little bit about this. I'm going to quote a guy called Jason Miller, but I thought it was such a good quote, this. He starts off with, if magic works, why aren't more of us better with magic, with money? So there was another magician who said, if you went to a car park near to like a new age festival type of thing, the cars in there will be much better than the cars in a car park near an occult conference, as a bit of fun. But he's got a point, right? And the point is the answer, and this is going back to Jason Miller, is that people tend to apply magic what we call tactically. In other words, oh my God, I haven't got enough money for whatever, the car repair or whatever. Let's throw some magic at it to get it to happen.
Yeah.
That's tactical, right?
Yeah.
But what he's saying is that really it should be strategic. So in other words, it's the big picture. So we're going to do a lot of stuff about the big picture. So you're bringing in lots of interesting possibilities for wealth. So, and we
Yep.
talk about that in a bigger way. So wealth, the Anglo-Saxon for wealth also means health,
Great.
interestingly.
Oh, I love this.
Right. So, because you often find that people who have problems with money also have problems with their
With
health,
that.
as
Yeah.
a as a very sort of general thing, almost as if that reflects in that. So we're going to look at that as well. All right. Just a sort of
Amazing.
a broad picture.
Amazing. Yes, that's very exciting. I get a lot of questions with regards to magic and witchcraft, and usually the first question is love. It's how do I do this? How do I do that? And my response is always very carefully.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There are similarities, aren't there, between the wealth magic and love
But
spells?
yeah, there are. I mean, I'm sort of, as I speak, we're sort of dipping into some old text. You've got the
Look
little
at that. Yeah.
pointers here. Um, it's about, I think, with love magic particularly, and yeah, and money magic, because as you know, it can really blow up in your face if you light the touch paper in the wrong way. But it's certainly about dealing with the will or the intention of another person, and to inflict that is really probably not a good idea,
No.
really. But
No.
so it's about, again, as Vic said, it's about being strategic with everything you do,
Yes.
think it through, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, be ready to be spontaneous or to react to something spontaneous when that moment comes up. You'll know it, sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
But integrity is all, I think, with it.
So, going along with that point there, I mean, sometimes you can't help, unfortunately, having to deal with another person who's
Yes.
in the frame. For instance, if you're trying to go for a job, then there's a lot of other people. You
Involved.
are
Yeah.
obviously doing something that you could loosely say is a form of malefic stuff. You don't want them to get it. You want to get it for yourself, right?
Yes.
Um, and love magic has got that slight problem that you're trying to manipulate, and this is why some people have a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah.
And it's another reason why it can blow out in your face as well.
Yeah.
But we all look at money as an energy, and the fact that you can use, and Minnie's going to do a lot of stuff about planetary magic as time goes on.
Yes.
You can use planetary effects on it, but there are two specific ones. Definitely Mercury, traditionally Jupiter, because Jupiter is about abundance, but Mercury is the communication thing. And if you think about money, more so now, it's not something that really technically exists.
No.
It's an idea, and it's always been an idea, which is definitely in the ballpark of Mercury. But there are other elements which we'll talk about sort of within this, and there'll be a thing about Venus, and how that works. So there's a lot of little offshoots here, but
Yeah.
we want people to be able to walk away and go, okay, I know some things that I can do. Even if it is that thing where the tactical thing is, I haven't got any money this month for this, we'll have some ideas for that as well. And things that we've done.
Yeah. And we'll also be focusing on like streams of resources.
Yeah.
It's not just how much you're making, it's how much you're saving.
Of
I
course.
think I put a quote online the other day from Stuart Wilde that said the trick to money is having some.
It's so true. Yeah.
And that really vibed with me, because I thought, yeah, maybe a little less online stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting because I knew Stuart, but I didn't know him in the period of time that he was really, really well known. And he was definitely a new ager, right? So that takes us back to that original quote, about the cars in the car park.
Yeah.
But it was this idea that you've got to act as if it's happened. That's a really important thing. You've got to act as if you're in the future event now,
Yep.
you know. And that's the point about his thing about the trick to money is having some. It's like if you think that you haven't got any, that's what you're sort of conjuring in
Manifesting.
your
Yes,
mind,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, but more to be revealed as ever.
Wonderful.
We're
Wonderful.
looking forward to it very much. It's been a great journey with you, Emma,
Thanks.
and Anathema, hasn't it really? It's been about a year now
It's, yeah, second week of
that
May,
we've
it'll
been
be a
doing
year that we've
things,
been, yeah, that
doing
we've,
this
yeah,
stuff, and we're really grateful. And Naomi and the crew at D'Annunzio have been absolutely fantastic. What a super venue.
absolutely.
We often get our students saying we love the venue. It's great food, great atmosphere. So
It's homely, isn't it?
it
Which is great.
works.
It
Yeah.
helps for everybody to relax. Obviously, most of the people that come along to the classes haven't met each other before, so
Yeah,
having a warm, welcoming environment
absolutely.
and getting to know one another has been amazing. And that for me has been the best bit is people making friends and coming and saying, "Oh, we went out for a coffee the other day together," and I'm thinking this is what it's all about. It's not just about the classes; it's about the community. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, it's been a great, really good 12 months.
amazing. Thank you
Fantastic.
so much.
You're
So,
very welcome.
anybody of any level, you don't have to have had any experience in
No,
anything.
No,
You can
no.
literally just
absolutely.
come along, and we will just start from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
Totally.
And even some people that have dabbled with magic financially, right? I think the take that we've sort of outlined, because that is just the overview.
Yeah,
I think that will be really refreshing to people, and it'll touch on a few other things that we spoke about before, like house protection magic, where it was about sometimes when you clear a space, that makes a difference. And that happens with money as well.
amazing.
Sometimes you get rid of some stuff as part of the process of the spell, if you like,
Yeah,
and that can do some amazing things.
this is so exciting. I can't wait now.
Good, good.
Brilliant. Lovely. What I'll do is I'll pop a little link below so that anybody who's interested can find out more and book on. And hopefully we will see some new faces.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you soon,
See you
Emma.
soon. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.